Hey everybody, Bandicoot Commando here, and welcome back to Savage Skies. Last time, we completed the Pariah campaign. It was quite a fight though, because of how difficult these last two missions are. Basically, basically, Mortalva sent us on a mission to destroy the Hive all on our own. No backup whatsoever. Thankfully, there was a way to prevail, and prevail we did. The man wanted us killed secretly because he was getting a bit paranoid about our recent success to the point that the demon narrator explained how that we should be the one ruling the Pariah and not Mortalvus. But this then led to us making our final assault on the Vertwin capital. And that was also quite a battle as well due to circumstances, but we did it. With it complete, the champion of the Pariah, the soul of the king, went to him, and now he's the new leader of the Pariah. Will this mean any good? Who knows? Now, today, there's a few things I need to show off. First thing I'm going to show is all the alternate colors on all the creatures. Well, actually, before I do that, I think I should show off gameplay of the creatures you can unlock in the Chrysalis and Pariah campaigns, the secret ones. Because I already did that with the Griffin. So I should show off Minyor and Unicron, so let's begin. Alright, here we are. This is Minyor. It is a flying Pegasus creature. According to the manual, it was a mutant experiment that Caliban was working on way before he formed the Chrysalis faction. Something that he had to keep hidden from the king, I believe. It's decent. Its primary, it's that, but its secondary is a lung. It is a little on the sluggish side, but
caution is urged. Be alert.
It's, like I said, it's a decent creature. Oh, that's what
wipe out their interests. They hold the dead that they resurrect against us. Those bones will not rise again. The demons have come to destroy.
I mean, I think you get the idea. It's just basically, it honestly acts like a better Pegasus in ways. And a great flying animation. It just honestly acts like Pegasus, but a little better. Oh, damn. Okay, now I'll show Unicron. Here we are.
Make your way to the heart of this forest and bring ruin down upon the crows you find there.
Pretty decent if you ask me. Primary does some good damage. It's got a high rate of fire too. I did say how it has probably the highest rate of fire with the primary compared to any other creature.
Splendid.
So give it an energy boost and a rapid fire and you can really set loose with this thing. And that's its secondary. It is explosive and can damage you if you're too close, so be careful.
Watch out for the ground units. Fire at you from the ground. Be careful.
And I seriously get hit by that missile.
Taking another chrysalis light. You should be proud.
Okay, I think I will show this mission.
Elemental protection.
Alright, up ahead will be their refinery of sorts. Sure you don't have enemies on you.
You serve us well.
Similar to Minyar, Unicron is said to be an undead demonic unicorn. Yep, there it is. Here it is.
This facility must be destroyed. Focus your efforts on those large rats. Damn impressive. You have a big wish. Quickly find some help.
Try to pick off their defenses little by little. Don't have much in line of defense, other than these turret cannons here.
The situation is grim. Heal your creature.
I
What
will,
you can kill is truly
if I can
imitating.
find help. Yeah, see, took a little damage from my own secondary there. That was a lot of damage, but just be careful, it'll damage you if you're not careful.
You're psychotic. No remorse.
This is what an
whatsoever.
undead unicorn can do. Wonder what a live one could. But then again, the closest thing there is to a unicorn in this game is Pegasus.
A natural
Alright,
born
we're kind
killer.
of safe to finish it.
The defenses are strong. Perhaps you should refocus. Now destroy the other rats. That is.
Boy, they're really trying to fire at me.
Exception.
There's that last.
Magnificent. So much pain and destruction follows in your wake. Good. Very good.
Alright. Hey! Next on my list on what to do for this finale is that I'm going to go over the creatures, or more specifically, I'm going to show off their alternate skins, but at the same time, I'm going to read their descriptors on how they are described in the manual. So it shouldn't take me too long. Rock is a noble and wise creature. Before the war, he was involved in finding and retrieving ancient artifacts as part of a caravan of traveling archaeologists. His eyesight is unsurpassed. Rock is able to see a mouse scurrying through the grass from miles away. In combat, a combination of his diminutive size as well as his incredible speed and maneuverability make Rock one of the hardest creatures to hit. Use this maneuverability to stick behind your opponents and dodge their attacks while closing in for a sonic screech blast. Prized for his fierce loyalty to those that care for him, Yomar can normally be found lounging about like a large house cat. Don't mistake this as a sign of weakness, though. As gentle as Yomar can be to his caretakers, he can be just as brutal to his enemies. Yomar is an excellent air-to-air combatant. Use his superior speed and agility to your advantage, getting in close for a devastating charge attack. Then break away and circle around for a volley of claws or another charge. Bog is one of the smallest of the Vertwin dragons. His swift flying characteristics make him perfect for light assault missions where the attacks must be quick and merciless. Definitely a stick and move creature, his rider must be ready to use evasive tactics when fighting heavier enemies. Drive towards your enemy with a volley of gold balls at medium range, then switch to the Gilded Breath to coat them in flames. His breath weapon also makes a good cover for escape. Freban is the largest bird in all the lands. Most creatures of his noble kind are used in the Royal Guard, but Freban proved to be a far better flyer than others of the same breed. Very agile for his class, Freban is able to outmaneuver many enemies his size. His wide effect Glory Hail makes a great spray weapon against smaller opponents and can be devastating up close and personal with ground units. His Rapture can minimally heal allies while damaging foes. Roan is an ice dragon from the far northern mountain range. Once thought to only be part of the stories brought back by weary, snowblind explorers, Roan's existence was confirmed when a wizard accompanying the explorers forged an alliance with Roan and flew back with him. He is one of a handful of flyers with a freezing elemental attack. Move in close to your target, freeze them solid with Roan's breath, then pelt them to oblivion with icy shards. In ancient times, only royalty was allowed to use the proud Pegasus. Still favored by those of noble birth, Pegasus can now be used by those without political power, though he responds best to those with a purity of heart and mind. Pegasus has always had a close bond with humans of exceptional character. An excellent heavy multi-role fighter, Pegasus is able to move in, unleash a furious attack, then cover his departure with a cloud of magical smoke. Zealot is an ancient dragon, some say as old as the land itself. Well respected and very noble, Zealot has seen many battles and has always come out on top. It is said he is thousands of years old, but he fights with the spirit of a young soldier. Excellent against heavy creatures and fixed emplacements, Zealot's damaging blast sets his opponents on fire for maximum damage. If harassed by smaller flyers, regeneration will keep him healthy while looking for that perfect shot. The legendary Griffin is statuesque and fights vigorously in the war against the Pariah and the Chrysalis. The Griffin was given an amulet of great power by one of his masters long ago. His attacks, enhanced by the mystical amulet that he wears around his neck, packs an incredible bite. While not a particularly fast creature, he is the fastest of the heavy Vertwin creatures. The enemies of the Vertwin are advised to prepare for a tough fight when the Griffin is on the scene. Oculus came into being when Caliban found a need to create a creature that could be used as both a scout and an effective attacker, with vision being a key factor in the success of any scout. Caliban started his morphine experiments from a single eye and took it from there. Quick, highly maneuverable, but very fragile, Oculus is best at whittling down enemies from afar. When confronted with a close quarters dogfight, his poison ring makes for a lingering getaway sting. Mantau was adapted from large sea rays found in the ocean to the east. Mantau's large fleshy spike appendages on either side of his mouth produce an electrical charge that his opponents find shocking. His flat profile and above average agility can make for a difficult target. Mantau's lightning arc automatically seeks his enemies and is great to use irregardless of your attack vector. Soften up an enemy with the lightning shot, then finish them off with the lightning arc. Adapted from a long-legged creature from the swamps, Sid is mostly a docile creature, though when provoked can turn violent. A superior air-to-air flyer, Sid uses his speed and maneuverability to work his way in close to an opponent, unleash an attack, and break away before the enemy knows what hit him. His fast-firing shock needle delivers a nasty charge to whittle away at opponents. Get in close and try to hit with all 3 pus spitter rounds for maximum effect. Alchemically created from tales of a legendary dragon in ancient times, Thau is one of the newest creations of the Chrysalis. His thin body is a difficult target for his opponents to hit, and he is able to withstand a fair amount of punishment before faltering in battle. A common tactic is to drive in, firing his Wind Reaver, then lay down a thick cloud of toxins with his poison veil, both damaging and discouraging any would-be pursuers. Despite his ever-present scowl, Crumb is an intelligent beast. His eyes convey a sense of wisdom when gazed into. Caliban came across the cowering creature and drove off the group of pariah creatures who had him backed into a corner. Bringing him to his lab, Caliban then healed and augmented Crumb. He now carries a genetically grafted cryogenic cannon that freezes his aerial enemies. After immobilizing them, his devastating mega missile delivers the death blow. Adapted from the gliding tree lizards of the jungles, Unamander is the epitome of Chrysalis genetic modification. Amazingly agile and fast for a creature his size, Unamander is able to bring his weapons to bear on the enemy with ease. The ultimate air-to-air combatant, his long-range lightning balls deliver punishing electrical damage, and his close combat thunderclap can instantly cripple any smaller opponent. Use his superior agility to turn the tables on a pursuer. Petal is a very interesting beast, to say the least. He is made up of a living tar-like substance that is held together with bony plates. Petal is one of the only Chrysalis creatures that was not an alteration of an existing creature, but instead was made completely from scratch. What Kettle lacks in speed and agility, he more than makes up for with his fortitude. Use his long-range Spirit Blast to soften up the enemy on approach, then finish them off with his devastating howl. Minyar is a large horse-like creature mutated to suit the needs of the collective. The roots of his creation are grounded in some of Caliban's earliest experiments on a Pegasus, while Caliban was still an advisor to the old king. Minyar is a well-balanced creature with both elemental offensive and defensive attacks. poisoning creatures that are unlucky enough to run into them. The Vertwin are sure to be surprised when they see one of their own made stronger by the Chrysalis. Quite possibly one of the trickiest creatures anywhere, Gormag uses his odd shape, his unique flying style, and his deceptive fighting tactics to outwit and outmaneuver his enemies. His long-range Gore Beam is good for whittling down opponents from a distance, much too small to survive extended close combat. Use Gormag's shield to absorb damage while pushing towards your breakaway. Circle back around and punish your pursuers. Bane of many's existence, Warloth can lay claim to sucking the life out of thousands of creatures and people across the land. Lacking in long-range firepower and substantial health, Warloth is a close combat specialist that must remain on the move while searching for attack opportunities. His Blood Screech not only damages an opponent, but also drains some of their energy. The Vampiric Bite can quickly whittle down an enemy's health while boosting his own. Wraith Slicer's eye cavities have been sealed shut, forcing his other senses to evolve to compensate. It is said Wraith Slicer can smell fear from miles away. He has developed a taste for the blood of the living, and he loves killing stragglers or finishing off enemies that are wounded in battle. While he does not excel in speed, maneuverability, or health, his attacks are devastating. Catch the enemy on fire with his rapid fireball. Then pepper them with fire in the sky to finish. Having been summoned by Mortalvis himself to be one of his elite few soul collectors, he scurries over battlefields, gathering souls for his master. Evil and sadistic, he can hold his own in any confrontation. His speed is respectable, and his mobility is above average for a creature of his bulk. Charge the enemy with his vomit spray, and follow up with his poisonous plague spewed breath. Also, use his breath to cover any breakaways for health. Portal is a huge flying boar. Don't hold that against him though, as he is one of the toughest pariah beasts. Portal's massive size and shape is a major hindrance, making him one of the least maneuverable and slowest creatures. His large health and stamina reserves allow him to dish out devastating amounts of damage. Portal's mud balls can saturate a large area with damage, while his trailing attack, Rock Cloud, obscures his large form and discourages pursuers. Crushcore is the most ferocious and brutal of all the pariah creatures. He uses his brute strength and his berserker rage to smash his enemies. Though strong, Crushcore lacks speed and mobility. This leaves him vulnerable to attack from far more agile foes, but his fortitude helps make up for the lack of defensive maneuvers. Use his demon spray to decimate the enemy with heavy damage at range, then close in and brute force charge to finish them off. Is a raging hulk of a demonic beast, ripping through entire squads of Vertwin troops with ease. Imprisoned by the ancient society that once occupied the pariah's volcanic lair, Mortalvis himself freed Pit from his hellish confines to serve him in his conquest to rule the land. He is surprisingly agile for his size and has sizable health and energy reserves. Charge into the fray with his fire breath, then crush any stragglers with his fiery terror ring. Being dead sometimes has its advantages, and Unicrom is definitely one to take advantage of anything he can. Riddled with disease and covered in rotting flesh, Unicrom is a very nasty creature to deal with. Unicrom uses his putrid body to store a vile gas that he vents to infect his enemies, and rivals would be well advised to stay away from him.